Beneath the surface of things is a world a billion times smaller than we are, one that many say holds the secrets to everything. Chemistry is a branch of physical science that studies the composition, structure, properties, and changing of matter. Chemistry is sometimes called the central science because it bridges sciences like physics, geology, and biology. Chemistry is a part of our lives every day, and your education in chemistry brings great opportunities both in and outside the lab.
Well, chemistry has the five primary subdisciplines. So the first thing is they head into one of those, using one of those subdisciplines within a market niche. Okay, whether it be analytical chemistry, whether it be organic chemistry, whether it be inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, etc.
There's a certain rigor to doing to studying sciences, whether it's chemistry or physics or mathematics. There's a rigor there to, starting with a problem, working through the problem, coming up with the definite solution.
And when you've made that molecule, that's the first time that molecule's appeared on Earth, all right? And you thought about it, and you figured out how to make it, and you put it in a bottle, and there it is. And so there's a real, the creativity part of it, or the inventive part, is really exciting.
We know so little, right? And we make steps where we think, okay, we've really made a huge step, and then realize even more, there's many more exciting things out there that we really need to keep digging and figuring out. We're like peeling the onion all the time.
It gives me a sense of self-worth and confidence in what I'm doing, that I can take all of this information that seems so highly specialized to other people and incorporate it into a project that actually turns out a product that's really useful to everybody. So it's a very much of a self-esteem and important position that I can do all of this work and it can be useful to other people.
Careers in the sciences continue to grow each and every year. A degree in chemistry provides you a versatile career with significant amounts of jobs available. As a focus in your science education, it's really hard to beat chemistry, as it revolves around the natural laws and processes that affect and shape many industries, like manufacturing, medicine, energy, and so much more.
So for example, one of the things that I work on is trying to find a replacement for the silicon transistor. And then our job is to really design experiments, execute experiments, and then analyze the data. And then based on that, we sort of keep the research project moving forward.
So now I'm a professor here of organic chemistry, and I teach organic as well as medicinal chemistry to, basically sophomores, juniors, and seniors at NJCU.
Everybody finds that they're doing multiple experiments on any given day. It can range anything from running a Western blot to your run-of-the-mill PCR. You could be conducting some kind of immunohistochemistry in a lab across the street at UPenn, so it really kind of varies from one day to the next.
Specifically, we're developing drugs to block latent infection of Epstein-Barr virus. So they're small molecules that will bind to a particular viral protein and block its ability to bind DNA, which should eventually remove the latent infection, and the cells are dependent on the latent infection, so they will die.
What I do is I determine the three-dimensional structure of proteins. We have to have purified protein. You purify protein to high purity, and then you concentrate it at a very high concentration. You then crystallize it, you try to get it into a crystal form, and then we take those crystals and freeze them and put them in the diffractometer.
A typical day of my job involves working on 2 to 3 projects, multitasking throughout the day. So in the morning I'll come in, I'll maybe start an experiment. While I'm waiting for that to run, I'll maybe do some data analysis. Every day is really exciting. Every day is something new. Every day involves learning something I didn't know before, and that part is really fun. So my job involves running an experiment, looking at the data that comes out of it, figuring out what happened, whether it's what I thought it would happen, whether it's not, understanding why, and moving on. It's like a puzzle. So my whole job is like doing a really interesting Sudoku puzzle every day. I get to come in and try new things and learn something new every day.
I mean, pharmaceuticals that's not the only place to work for chemists. Chemistry is everywhere, and so there are jobs. We've had students go off to DuPont, we've had students go and work for FDA, students work for companies like Nabisco. They all hire chemists, so it's not just pharmaceuticals.
The whole cosmetic industry needs people that are able to improve their products. If you go into environmental science, there's always a need for someone to be able to not only analyze, but also make those some conclusions from that data on what to do if there is a problem.
You could end up in industry, in private industry, working in a chemical plant. You could end up working in a scientific lab. You could work for the government in a job like I do, providing assurance work. You could work as a quality engineer. You could work as an industrial engineer.
Work in publishing, so you can work for different journals, you can publish, you can be an editor for a journal, you can read all the papers that come in, you can determine what is worthy of publication and what is not worthy of publication. You can teach. A lot of people end up going into high school and teaching different high school classes.
We have some of the world's best, or the country's best national labs. There's a lot of fine universities, of course. There's a lot of biotechnology.
The way that the future's going, if you can work science, you have a future. It's just the way things are going. Science and technology are just the only places where jobs, I think, will be in the decades and centuries to come.